Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the very first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense, because here on this platform, we discuss everyday issues where we seek logical solutions. However, not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I already have a guest in the backstage. I will let him in a brief moment. First of all, I just want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate all the support. I want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter in your devices. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do go live, or actually prepare content, you'll have the opportunity to catch it live or on the playback. Before we get into the topic, we're going to get into this week's episode of What the Heck This Is, starting now. Now, you're probably wondering who is the recipient of the What the Heck This Is reward. It's none other than the House of Representatives. Now, by January 3rd, after the midterm elections, the ruling party will select whoever is their speaker. This should have happened on January 3rd. This is January 5th, and they still have not selected a Speaker of the House. This is something that has never happened in 100 years. So that kind of gives you a foretaste what's going to happen in Congress, which is absolutely, positively nothing. So that being said, and I do want to give everyone, being that this is a new year, a motivational message. So this is something that I saw in TikTok. So I'm going to share with you. Just give me a moment.
Yo seguiré mirando para el frente, pase voy a continuar, aunque tenga enemigos que quieran pararme. Yo sigo triunfante, con mis pasos aplastantes, vengo con más fuerza que un mismo elefante. En esta carrera hay que ser perseverante, y el que se resbala, pues que se levante. No volver atrás, socio, que es lo importante. No tengo bien claro que mi premio está adelante. Voy con paso firme, sigo bien campante, y al que no le guste, pues que se me aguante. Ya sigo pa'lante, yo no voy a virar, sigo pa'lante.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end my guest in. Now, for the benefit of those of you who do not speak Spanish, the lady in the background, her name is Pastor Yesenia Den. She is a Dominican pastor from the Dominican Republic. And basically, what the message states is that we are going to proceed forward. We're not going to let the enemy, which in my case is Satan, stop me from achieving my goals. And I'm not going to look back. I'm going to go forward, and I have the strength of an elephant, and I will become victorious. So now I'm going to bring in my guest. But before I do that, I want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host or the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the views that people might hold may be considered offensive to some. If you do not like the channel, you can block. You block we don't like the content, you can block the channel. And now, good evening, Matt.
Good evening, Jose. You hear me, I assume.
Yes,
You
I
hear
am.
me?
First of all, Happy New Year. Yes, I
All
can hear
right,
you.
back at you.
So, how are you doing tonight?
Well, I could be better, but I'm holding up. You know, there's a lot of issues with life, and I really wonder about Satan being the enemy, but we can get into that at another point if you'd like. But I just had to put that out there.
Well, in case you do not know, I am a Christian, and we do believe that there is an evil force out there in the world identified as Satan. But everyone's entitled to his or her individual
No,
beliefs.
no, 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 no. I 100% agree with you about there being an evil force, and I 100% agree with you about there being Satan. But um, I really wonder because Satan can't do anything without God. Is that correct?
That is correct. But the problem is that you have people who can for easily prey to the whims of Satan.
And another thing about Satan is that we have to be very, very, very careful not to place the blame on Satan if Satan doesn't deserve the blame. To give you a very, very quick example, of 10,000 years ago, I was in a small church, and one of the members of the church was testifying, and he was talking about how he got like 3 speeding pit tickets in the space of 6 months, and his license was in jeopardy. He said the forces of darkness were after him. It wasn't the forces of darkness, it was his heavy foot that was his problem. You know, you can't necessarily blame Satan all the time.
Unfortunately, now we're dealing with people that some people accountability is a foreign concept.
So anyway, as I said, I don't know if this is about theology, and if it is, I apologize for sidetracking it, but I wanted to put that out there.
Uh, no, the whole point. Okay, actually, uh, this is tonight is open discussion, so we can talk about anything. The whole that was being played is not to give up. You know that circumstances overcome you, that you are able to achieve. That's the whole point of the message.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the first thing I want to discuss tonight, which was Damar Hamlin. Now, are you familiar with what's the situation with?
I'm sorry, you broke up, Jose. The connection's a little choppy. Am I
Okay, I'm
familiar with?
sorry. There's a delay. There's a Okay. Are you familiar with the safety for the Buffalo Bills, Damar Hamlin?
Well, I'm familiar with the issue, the stadium of the Buffalo Bills, that Governor Hochul has committed millions, if not billions, to finance a stadium for a multi-billionaire, is or a multi-millionaire at least. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about a person who's the safety for the Buffalo Bills. What happened was um, in their football game with the Cincinnati Bengals, um, Hamlin, Damar Hamlin, suffered a cardiac arrest
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah. I know about. I
immediately
know.
hospitalized.
I'm aware of that. Yes, I'm aware of that. I know about that.
Okay, and currently he's in a medically induced coma. So I did mention a little bit regarding this on last night's stream. So I just want to encourage everyone to please um, keep him and his family and his friends in your prayers and your thoughts. What happens is sometimes when there is a tragedy, there is a tendency to overreact. Like I know there's certain people that might want to outlaw the sport of football altogether uh, due to the violent nature um,
Is it
that
red?
exists. Now, yes, these people are paid a lot of money. However,
I didn't know that.
um,
Okay, I'll be right there. Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
however, they're putting their lives in danger. Um, Mind you, they chose to be football players. But however, just like anybody else, they all want to return to their homes safe and sound. What's your thoughts regarding the whole situation?
Well, I am not in disagreement with you. They do choose to put their lives in danger. I would imagine if the will was there, they could make football touch football instead of tackle football, which would be infinitely which would be infinitely safer. But it all comes down to the fans. The fans are willing to put down their hard-earned money to see this. Okay,
Mhm.
the fans are willing to spend God knows how much money to see football, and as long as it's economically viable, I doubt anything is going to change, and I doubt they're going to ever outlaw football. It's all about the almighty dollar. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh, you know, um, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad. A lot of discussion whether or not this game is going to be resumed, whether this game is going to be canceled completely. Um, my personal belief, the number one priority should be the fact that he's 24 years old, physically fit, is seriously um, he will recover to live a normal life, and that's the primary thing. Whether or not he plays football, okay, that's like the cherry on top. But the main thing is that he has uh, that he's able to recover from his injuries.
Well, you can't say he's physically fit. Having a cardiac arrest at 24, I really wonder how physically fit he was to begin with.
Well, there has been a lot of speculation involved regarding what led him to have a arrest. Now, there's been some speculation due to the fact that he was vaccinated against COVID 19. I mean, at this point, it's all hearsay, it's all theory because we really don't know what happened to this young athlete. And I don't want to put any more fire regarding the controversy regarding the vaccines. My personal point of view when it comes to vaccination or no vaccination is you speak to your primary care physician. You ask your doctor and ask the pertinent questions. And then you decide what's your course of action. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, who knows? Who knows if the private physicians paid by the hospitals to push him through? Number one, I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's a possibility. Number two, I know that my first COVID shot, for 2 weeks, I was sleeping 12 to 14 hours a day. Now, you know Parkchester. Just going from 7 Metropolitan Oval to the Key Food in Hawthorne Drive and back got me so exhausted I would collapse on the bed. Eventually, I did pull out of it. Eventually, thank goodness, a full recovery. My first COVID booster, it wasn't over 100% of my body, but I had eczema all over my body, not over 100%. And it took a lot of applications of cream, one visit to my internist, and one visit to the dermatologist to get rid of that eczema. So who knows? The COVID shots are such an unknown. So do I think it's plausible that maybe the COVID shot causes cardiac arrest? I certainly do.
Okay. Again, this is just, I like to repeat this, everybody. This is just speculation. We have no idea whatsoever what caused this condition to concern, to affect him. But I think it's safe to say we all wish him that he recovers and that he's able to resume regular activities. Whether he plays another game of football, that's secondary.
Yeah, but what is he going to do if he can't play football?
Well, I mean, look, we don't know. First of all, we don't know regarding his educational background. Okay, um, I don't know if he attended and completed his bachelor's degree, so he can, depending on what is his field study, get a job within his field, or perhaps he can become commentator like so many other people have done after they finish playing their careers.
And another issue that I have with sports in general, and as I said, the millions, if not billions of dollars that Hochul is diverting to the Bills. Suppose you tackled social problems with that money. What would happen?
Well, unfortunately, the governor is not here to address that question, nor even no, she would address that question. Some people would say that it is an investment to spend all that money on a new stadium for a football team. Again, this is what some people will say. I don't necessarily agree or disagree.
And let's extend that. Okay, let's extend that. Uh, I went by Yankee Stadium one morning, Saturday or Sunday, when they're usually 1 o'clock or 1:30 games. 9:30 in the morning, people are out there in the parking lot having a tailgate party. Suppose all that time and energy and effort were instead put towards an adult literacy program, Meals on Wheels, okay, a free provider of legal services. Let's say 10,000 of those fans were to do that instead of going to the baseball game. How much better off would the world be?
Okay. That is one way to look at it. Now perhaps that 10,000 fans or whatever number of fans that actually participate in such activity might disagree, and that they might say, well, it's a time for bonding, it's a time for getting together and having an enjoyable afternoon or morning.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't agree.
Hmm. But you
Now,
know, but that's the thing. Come, go ahead.
also, closer to home, have you seen the chief that came out today?
No, I have been very busy, doing a lot of overtime. What's is there anything you wish to note?
Yeah. The whole Medicare kerfluffle, the New York City
Mm-hmm.
retirees. It looks as if the city council might vote to reopen the administrative code. And I think it's going to create a lot, including possibly the healthcare plans of city workers. Notice the generic term I use.
Okay. Now, would you like to state further what is your basis for your hypothesis?
In 1967, it was hashed out in collective bargaining that in exchange for lower salaries, city workers and retirees would get free health care.
Hmm.
Two courts have ruled, the Supreme Court and the Appellate Court have ruled in favor of the retirees. And now they're trying to do an end. The city council is at least considering doing an end run around the courts. Do you have any opinion on that?
That's something that I'm gonna have to do my research. I don't want to express an opinion based on issue, so I really gonna have to do. Now, I will have to look at the videos regarding the retirees and what is their perspective on things, and also what our local has to say in regards to this issue as well.
Well, Local 371 is in favor of reopening the administrative code.
Okay.
So is DC 37.
Hmm.
So is the
Well,
UFT and the MLC.
yeah. Well, their
I,
premise is. Go ahead.
Does somebody else? Is somebody
Uh,
else?
no, it's just that like, there's a delay. Their premise for opening up is that if it's not done, then the employees and the retirees will be forced to pay premiums on their medical coverage.
I'm not following how the Health Stabilization Fund is running out of money. Marianne Pizzatola, who is the head of the New York City retirees, the Health Stabilization Fund is running out of money to pay for raises in 2014 for the UFT.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and she is saying that
Okay.
everybody is paying for the misuse of the stabilization fund by Michael Mulgrew, the head of the UFT. You got somebody else on there, I see. The Hello.
Okay.
Jose, you there?
Um, I just want to acknowledge the fact. Okay, acknowledge the fact that Donna Mondo is in the chat. Good evening, Donna Mondo. I hope that you're doing well. I understand that you have a stream going on right now, so I'll have to catch it on the playback. So but like I said before, that's something I'm going to have to do a lot of research on it before I achieve at a point of view. So now just to give.
Okay, I do strongly, whatever side you're on, I urge you to do your research.
Mhm.
And I'd be interested in your opinion, but regardless of what you do or don't do, whatever opinion you form, there's going to be city council hearings on the 9th and the 10th. It's going to get very interesting because these retirees are really fighting. They're really scrapping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move along, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a brief recap regarding this week's streams and next week's. Um, Now on Monday we had a discussion regarding who are the incels, and just to bring up the speed, who are the incels? These are people who are what called involuntary celibate. In other words, they're celibate because for reasons beyond their control or whatever. Just give me a moment. Um, that these people are not able to form relationships with the opposite sex, and sometimes they have multiple issues involved, as far as and also there's certain mental health issues that deals with these incels. Part of it like a low self-esteem, increased need for casual sex, and some of them can become um, violent in extreme cases. Okay. We also had another stream yesterday regarding how to deal with fake friends. Um, Now, basically, just what they are, these are people who, on the surface, are our friends, but are really not. They're trying to gain our trust, but for a selfish motives. Nat, any thoughts regarding the two streams that I spoke about?
Well, regarding fake friends, I've known a few in my time. And all I can tell you is, once again, back to that Satan thing, if you let yourself get taken advantage of by a fake friend, you really should question whose responsibility is it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I had a fake friend, a female fake friend who I worked with, and in retrospect, there were a number of warnings, and I just blindly allowed myself to miss them. And I blame myself. I don't blame them. They're being who they want to be. Kinds of a fake friend, and there's plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, look, the reality is this: whenever you meet anyone, and I mean anyone, they all have to go through a carefully vetted process because you have to discern who are true friends and who are fake friends. And if you are very careful and you are observant, you will see for yourself who are the fake friends and who are the real friends. Unfortunately, there seem to be more fake friends than real friends. Now, what I did was regarding that episode, I also made a distinction, giving it characteristics regarding what are true friends. Okay, true friends will be truthful. True friends will support you when you're down. They will acknowledge your milestones, and they will speak to you in private regarding any issues that they may have with you. Your thoughts on these words?
Agree. I agree totally. Um, However, a true friend doesn't necessarily have to have all those attributes in order to be a true friend. Okay,
Hmm.
they could be missing one of those attributes. They don't have to be perfect. The big thing about true friends is true friends would not expect each other necessarily to be perfect. They're not going to be perfect because they're human beings.
Hmm. I agree.
But yes,
Now,
I agree in general on the characteristics.
okay. Now, as far as next week's stream on Sunday at 6 o'clock, I will have a stream regarding YouTube etiquette. And the whole purpose is behind that topic is to discuss certain things that that person who appears on YouTube should do. There's a certain, if you want to say, a code of conduct, so to speak, as
Yeah,
far as how to interact with others. Well, others have different platforms, and you have different YouTube creators who allow certain different things to occur. However, there are certain principles that apply regardless on who is the YouTube creator. And also, I will be discussing on Tuesday at 8:15 why I like regarding the biracial community.
what
And
you like
that's
regard?
basically the goals in the
Wait,
vision.
wait, wait. What you
The
like regarding?
biracial the biracial
Oh,
community.
I got you.
Yeah. So what I'm going to be talking about positive attributes when it deals with these individuals, which in my estimation, there are many.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Listen, let me ask you something, Jose.
Okay.
You're
Yes.
going in and out. Um, it's sometimes very difficult to pick it up, and it's very choppy. Do you have another, or can you think of maybe another chat stream that would be more stable than this one? That maybe for next time you could use, or maybe for next week or next month, or maybe because, as I said, you're pretty unstable. Have you thought maybe of of using Teams or Zoom, which are more stable, or is that a money issue?
See, part of the problem is many of the YouTube creators and many of the people They appear on these YouTube streets, use StreamYard. The only other alternative is to use the StreamYard services in Discord. The problem is not everyone is on Discord. And unfortunately, not everyone is on Teams.
Okay.
But yes, I do understand this has been an ongoing problem. Um, but hopefully it'll be resolved soon. Um, so now the next thing I'm gonna be talking about is what I think what's called Discord etiquette. Now let me explain uh, what is Discord. Discord is another social media platform. Um, on this platform, individuals are able to message each other. They can also do streams on Discord. The problem with Discord is that only those that are actually on not only on Discord can actually participate in the stream, which is part of the reasons why I'm still learning regarding how to use Discord, why I've not done streams on that platform. Now, one thing to bear in mind that when it comes to etiquette, first of all, and it's still coming choppy, or the reception is better.
It's a little bit better now.
Okay. Now, when it comes to like um, social platforms, whether it be Discord or whether it be StreamYard or whether it be YouTube or what have you, there is like a certain etiquette that one must maintain, which is number one, don't 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 curse at the other people, don't yell at the other people, don't argue with the other people. Um, because when you argue and when you curse and when you carry on, you're not able to conduct a calm conversation, whether it be on Discord, or whether it be on StreamYard, or whether it be on any uh, streaming platform. Your thoughts on the topic?
Well, I agree. The only thing is, there's nothing wrong with healthy debate. The only thing is to recognize the differences between healthy debate and argument. I would say argument happens when people start attacking each other personally, each other because they don't happen to agree with that. I've known a few people in my time who have been known to call somebody crazy simply because they don't agree with them. I mean, the no cursing, I certainly agree with. I think there's far too much profanity in our society. I'm amazed at the way I hear some parents talking to their children. But yes, I absolutely agree about no profanity. It's not necessary to use profanity.
Hmm. I agree. Now, one thing.
So,
Okay.
agreement with you, etiquette. It should be the etiquette for all platforms. Unfortunately, not everybody believes in obeying the etiquette.
Well, when it comes to etiquette, like etiquette on my platform, the rules are basically very simple. I don't censor people. All I ask is that you be respectable to the other people on the panel and the other people that's on the chat. We can disagree and we can discuss it as far as why there's disagreement, and if possible come sort of a resolution. But there's no need to be constantly using colorful adjectives and what have you, and sort of, attacking a person's character or attacking a person's sexual orientation or identity. Unfortunately, I have seen this on multiple platforms, not here, but in other platforms. I don't know if that's something you have seen yourself.
Well, I don't have that much experience with other platforms. I do know that Local 371 had the Next Wave committee meeting a couple of months ago, and the guest of honor was using the word for feces more times than I thought was necessary. But as I said, I don't have that much experience across these platforms. Okay. And in fact, I'm on here tonight because I think it's important that we all support each other and help each other. And I hope your YouTube channel is growing.
Well, thank you. Actually, it is. Right now, I currently have 197 subscribers.
Okay, that's not bad.
Hmm. Uh, now I do understand that when it comes to platforms like this one, where it's a discussion regarding everyday issues, the growth will be slow, but I am growing. And the fact of the matter is, I do have a regular, ongoing audience that does support this platform, and I really do appreciate all the love and support that all of you have given me regarding this channel. Now, what brought on the discussion regarding Discord etiquette? There was a situation where another individual was trying to address certain allegations that were made that were not true. And this person was attacked orally for her words. And I was there to simply say, hey, it's not lying, to show my support for this individual. And as a result of this action, I was removed from a person's Discord simply for defending another person.
That's just straight up and down ignorance. Removing somebody because
Hmm.
they disagree with your opinion, or removing somebody because you prevented somebody else from being personally attacked, which should never happen in debates. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody should be attacking somebody because they disagree with them. But unfortunately, it does happen, and unfortunately, it will continue to happen.
Mhm.
And I wish there was an easy answer to that, but unfortunately, there is no easy answer to that. People feel that they have to personally attack somebody during a debate. Of course, I'm divorced. I did not always observe that type of etiquette when I was arguing with my ex wife, which I regret. I'm not taking responsibility for everything that went wrong in the marriage, but that's one of the things I wish I hadn't done.
Well, the fact of the matter is that we all live and learn. We all learn from our mistakes, and that's the important thing. Okay, the
Yeah.
important thing is we acknowledge our mistakes, and then we take the correct action. As long we can do that, that's perfectly fine.
And that comes down to what I'm saying about Satan. Satan is not always the cause of our issues. As William Shakespeare said, the fault lies not in the stars, but in ourselves.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, which leads me to the next topic, which is that we have to be more careful vetting. And when I mean vetting, we have to be very careful regarding who we encounter, whether it be in real life, whether it be in any social platforms, um, whether it be through meetings or any other source of social media. And the reason why careful because there's always people that will portray a certain persona, but yet at the same time, that outward persona may not be the true representation of that person, and that's something that I have learned the hard way. When someone had lashed out at me without giving me the explanation to why this individual lashed out. Your thoughts on the subject?
Yeah, people, when they lash out at you, I'd say they're probably lashing out at themselves. There's a
Mhm.
deficiency in themselves which they cannot look in the mirror, they cannot handle, and they're lashing out at themselves rather than lashing out at you. Those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing you will notice if you spend any significant time, uh, many times that what they project to be not necessarily the same.
Yeah. To paraphrase that, I saw something on YouTube, not on YouTube, on I think it was Facebook, and it said
Mhm.
some people are beautifully wrapped boxes of you know what, and that's certainly true.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Which leads me to the next topic, which is holding creators responsible for their guest conduct. Now, I have been very fortunate. I have been on multiple platforms, and that in most of the cases, whoever has done an excellent job as far as making sure that all the guests on the panel respect each other. And while we might have disagreements, that happens, but in most of the cases, the host has never let anyone disrespect me or disrespect any of their fellow guests. Now, going forward, I'm going to continue to hold um, the host responsible for their guest conduct. And also, I'm going also people should hold me accountable when it comes to my guests because it is my role as the host to make sure that everything runs smoothly, that everyone has an opportunity to speak, and that if anyone on the panel disrespect anyone, another person, make sure that I bring it to their attention and request that that they refrain from doing such things. And if they refuse my direction to stop disrespecting um, another person on the panel or on the chat, I have no problems removing them, because the bottom line is that I'm trying to create a safe space for everyone to have discussion.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that as a problem. This is only the second one I've been on, but as I said, I haven't seen any issues with that.
Mhm. Yeah. But I've seen, okay, I've personally seen on other platforms, not platforms I participated in, but on other platforms where they didn't enforce the law, so to speak, and allow some of the guests to go um, amok, so to speak. Uh, but let's continue to the next topic. Now, I have been again, I have been very fortunate that in my time as a YouTube creator, I have had many people who have come to support this channel. Many. I'm not going to start naming all of them because my memory is not that strong, and I don't want to overlook anyone. But the fact of the matter is, throughout all my time and journey as a YouTube creator, there have been multiple people that shown their love and their support to this channel. And I have endeavored to do the same whenever I'm able to come on their platforms and to show my love and support and to contribute to what is the topic in hand. Your thoughts on this topic?
Yeah. The only thing I suggest is maybe make a list of the people who's supporting you, because it is important that you give a shout out to those who are supporting you. That would be my suggestion. If you can't remember it, nothing wrong with writing down a list, right?
Mhm. Well, what I normally do is whenever another YouTube creator, whether they're in the chat or whether they come on the panel, I always make it a point to give a shout out, and also not only give a shout out, but to encourage the audience to check out their content, because it's not a question. It's just me first, me second, me third. It's also how to support other positive YouTube creators.
Okay. And how many YouTube creators would you say you're supporting?
Um, I would say more than 15.
Okay, you're stretching yourself a little bit thin, aren't you?
No, not necessarily. I mean, um, now I don't necessarily go on the platforms all on the same week. However, I will like 1 week I'll like take a look at their contact for say 4 or 5, and then another week another 4 or 5, and then another week after that. No, I don't do all 15. First of all, I don't have the time. Number one, and number two, it does take a great deal of energy to to watch it, particularly anyone that does a stream that's more than 2 hours. No, but what I will do is like during the month, I will visit say 3 or 4 creators a week.
Hmm. All right, you got a 4 minute buzzer, Jose. I got to run along in 4 minutes. So,
Well, if
you
you
know,
have to leave, If you have to leave, go by all means do so. Now, but I do appreciate you stepping in.
Okay, your next broadcast is what, Sunday?
It's going to be Sunday, I believe, at 6 o'clock, and the topic will be YouTube etiquette.
All right, sounds good. Hope I can make it. All right, take it easy,
Well, if,
Jose.
okay, well,
Yeah,
thank you very much for stopping by. Be safe.
all right.
Okay. So, it's always good to have someone, to stop by. Um, Now, let me just give you my thoughts when it's gone when I which I commonly refer to as the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery are basically those individuals that they love to come on platforms and for the purpose of trying to disrupt, the purpose of trying to argue with the host, or they argue with someone that's on the panel. We have seen this on multiple platforms. Unfortunately, we have seen it to some degree on my platform. I do my best to try to limit that. The fact of the matter is, we're always going to have people from the peanut gallery every now and then that will try to disrupt the stream. So what I would do is just asking the police to stay on topic and play nice, so to speak. And if they can't, well, guess what? They will be removed. It is that simple. I have no problem with that. Um, One thing I'm going to strive not to do going into this year, that if I have any beef with anyone, not to bring it here on this platform. Um, First of all, if there's a way that I can speak with them individually in private, I would do so. Otherwise, I was just simply, you know what, they'll be banned from the platform because at this point, I'm too old to deal with the stupidity. But as I stated, I will be holding creators responsible for their guests, meaning they have to make sure that their guests uh, are respectful towards the other panels. Okay. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to have a kumbaya moment. However, we do need to exist on the platform. Okay. And my simple solution for those who have beef with me, if we're going to share the same platform, I'm going to make it simple. Don't direct your demands towards me. Don't do any reaction towards me or reaction videos towards me, and I will do likewise. It is that simple. Now, there are going to be some consequences for those creators that fail to properly police their guests. First of all, I'm going to have a serious discussion with them in the background. Number one. Number two, if they fail to police their guests, in other words, make sure that the guests are in line, guess what? I'm not going to support them. And that's that simple, okay? And I know that my platform is not large per se, but nevertheless, I do have some influence, and I'm going to exercise it whenever necessary. Okay. And as I stated before, I'm going to continue to support those who support me. Now, let me just say a few words in Spanish to the Spanish speaking audience. I will translate into English. Solamente quiero decir a ustedes que el porqué que no han hecho programación en español, ese fue la falta de la presencia de ustedes. Si en verdad usted quiere programación completamente en español, le tocará a ustedes apoyar este canal por su presencia y por entrando en los canales para hablar sobre su punto de vista. La verdad, lamentablemente, no vale la pena tener programación en español si no hay nadie que está mirando la programación. Basically, what I said is the following. For the Spanish-speaking audience that want programming in Spanish, they need to support it. It makes no sense for me to do streams in Spanish with no one watching. Okay? Another thing that I'm going to be doing every so often, I'm going to have like what we call motivational moments. In other words, I'm going to be doing short videos with a positive message, like I shared tonight here regarding regarding a YouTube creator. Excuse me. I apologize. Just gonna wait for a moment. Okay. Okay.
Yo seguiré mirando para el frente, no importa lo que pase, voy a continuar. Aunque tenga enemigos que quieran pararme, yo sigo triunfante, con mis pasos aplastantes. Vengo con más fuerza que un mismo elefante. En esta carrera hay que ser perseverante, y el que se resbala, pues que se levante. No volver atrás, socio, que es lo importante. No tengo bien claro que mi premio está adelante. Pues con paso firme sigo bien campante, y al que no le guste, pues que se me aguante. Ya sigo para adelante, yo no voy a virar, sigo para adelante.
Yeah. Again, I decided to add this TikTok because of the content and the message involved, which is go forward and don't look back. And then we will have the strength of an elephant. And those who try to get us to look back, they can take a back seat. Okay. So that's something you're going to be seeing this on a regular basis, where I'm going to share a little positive message on TikTok. Now, I know some people consider TikTok to be garbage, but every now and then you do see a positive message. So therefore, I'm going to be sharing that with the uncommon folk. Okay. Now, another thing that I'm going to strive to do for this year is be the best version of myself. And what that does mean? That means I'm going to strive that every week to have quality content for you, the audience, to take a look at and hopefully receive. As you see, I do strive to keep everything positive. Why? For unfortunately, we do have a lot of negative YouTube creators out there in these YouTube streets. So that's the reason why I'm striving that I portray a positive message. And the best way to do that is to speak about those topics, speak about those items where it is positive in nature. However, it does address an issue. Okay. Um, Now there's a phrase that actually my cyber daughter Denise Gonzalez likes to mention quite a bit is let the circus be the circus. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Um, if people want to act foolish and argue and spend multiple hours talking about the same thing over again and discussing uh, beefs that people have, that's perfectly fine with me. Okay, they can do so to their heart's content. I'm not going to partake in that activity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best uh, that every week provide content that is actually useful and informative. So that's why the term let the circus be the circus. One thing I will be doing in the coming year, I've done a little bit um, on my channel, is to do more shorts um, and see if I can create an audience that way. I've seen how certain individuals are able to produce shorts and get a large response. That's something that I am new in regards to this topic. So we shall see how does that go. I do know that I have some things I'm going to need to learn. Okay. Um, let's see. Um, which brings me to the next thing, clicks and views. We do see people in these YouTube streets that will do anything, and I repeat, anything for views. It could be anything like argue, fight, curse, threaten, or things of that nature. If these people want to do that, that's perfectly fine with me. I prefer not to. Okay. And the reason why I prefer not to is that I am able to create, in my estimation, quality content. So therefore, I don't see a need to do so. If people want to do that, by all means, let them do what their heart content to their heart content, not me. Okay, and let's see what else I need to discuss. I will in the new year be trying to learn more about how to use Discord. Discord can be useful. It's just that unfortunately, when it comes to people like me, it takes a while for us to learn um, technological stuff. But I do endeavor um, to learn more about Discord. Also, one thing I plan to do is to do more collaborations, but with people who are true. Okay. And speaking about people who are true, I have to mention, I will mention the following. When it comes to biracial and multiracial people, people like Golden Goddess, multiracial movement, the future is golden, Jane's maps, Georgia. Um, let's see. There are others that and this is the reason why I don't like to highlight because I always gonna forget somebody. Um, also, Mr. Anthony Ali, he's a relatively YouTube creator. He does provide interesting content, so I'm going to try to check out. And of course, other individuals like the Blazing King. One person I've not seen in a long time is Mr. Uganda. I hope he is okay. Okay. And I see here we have another guest.
How you doing, Don
Good
Jose?
evening.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm doing fine. So how you been?
Man, I just got some sad
How you doing?
news.
Really? I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was a cousin that, that held dear, and I didn't know what was going on, but I just found out that she passed away, so you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
It was in the
I am.
PR, so
Yeah. I'm truly am sorry for your loss. There's
thank you.
no way. Yeah, you're welcome. There's no way I'm gonna. I can understand what you're going through, but please, I will keep you and your family in my thoughts and prayers because it's never good to lose a family member or a loved one. But it just goes to show how we should value our time here because we're here today. We may not be here tomorrow.
Right.
Okay. Speaking
Actually.
about, yeah, speaking about valuing the time, one thing I have noticed that there have been certain YouTube creators that been using their time just discuss about the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
That's why I'm like, I just pop in like maybe in whatever, but I'm just really focusing on my joint. But I was about to have a stream tonight, but I was like, I just set it back for Monday, so I'm just gonna try to talk to any of the artists about okay, um to see if they know how to use StreamYard or whatever. So therefore, we could actually have a mini discussion tomorrow. Hopefully, everything goes as planned.
yeah, okay. Well, tonight's it's open discussion, so we spoke about a lot of things, and
Yeah.
actually, one of the things that we discussed, which I'm going to cover on Sunday stream. Okay, good evening, Keisha. Thank you very much. I hope
AK
that
show.
start doing your streams. And we also have the future is golden. Good evening.
Hey, the future. How
Um,
you doing?
before I forget, let me just let everybody know that Don Armando, Keyshawn, and the future is golden. They all have their own platforms. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so, please check out their content and please subscribe to them. I mean, I think you're going to be pleased with the content they provide.
Yeah.
But it's just that. Then the reason why I'm going to be discussing YouTube etiquette. Okay, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. Because let's keep it real. At times, there've been some crazy crap go on these YouTube streets.
I mean, if you actually look at it, it's crazy. But then if you actually look at it, it's like I'm not gonna go and it's only so much that you could actually take. And I'm at a point in my life. I'm getting older. I'm not gonna go and try to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding me on what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna go with the flow because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. There's certain YouTube there's certain YouTubers that you know that have a life, and there's certain people that don't. Like for example, I'm not gonna say anything,
Mhm.
but I'm just doing my time unless if I do this professionally. Hopefully I do, depending if I get a million followers or whatever. But I'm just saying, like as in the crux of everything, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna try to do this, maybe learn some tips or whatever, and see my channel grow. Cause I'm like at 200 at 200 something subscribers right now. Hopefully you'll get 1,000. So let's see.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just that you know what, at this point, I know who are the real friends and who are the fake friends. I mean, I've been personally witnessed that myself. I'm not going to name names regarding who are the fake friends because, first of all, I don't want to give them any shade, and of course, there's always so much
I mean,
controversy, and
to me, I'm not. It's like this. I don't really care for naming names because, but at the same time, it's not. It's like if you met me, okay, I'm cool. If you don't want to meet me or whatever, ain't gonna be no beef because at the end of the day, I don't really care because you will never meet me. So
Mhm.
the one thing I could actually say on this space, the friends that I have made, which is radical. Um, Denise, she's cool. Um, one person that I have that I could actually say that we met on another space, but we grown to talk every now and then is Jordan, George. So I've actually grown to admire
Mhm.
and respect him also. So my thing is that, hey Irby, so maybe in the future I might just go out to Nevada and see him, or vice versa. So it's like I'm not. It's like I would like to see what the West Coast is going on and everything. What's everything's going on in the West Coast because it's a different animal. I know that for a fact. So
Mhm.
as far as the
Yeah.
biracial, Hispanic movements and whatsoever, because there's a lot of mixture in California. It's just weird on how certain people in that state still want to follow racist values. So
Yeah. Well, first of all, good evening, Irby. Thank you very much for stopping by. Look, I consider myself very fortunate that I have received a lot of love by the not just the biracial, multiracial community, but also the Latino community and in our circles as well. Well, and it's not every day that people love and respected in multiple communities. So when anyone's going on saying that I'm an old, senile, lonely man, that's far from the truth. But you know what? If that's the narrative that people want to paint at this point, knock yourself off. Because at this point in 2023, my goal is to be the best version of me. I have been very busy doing a lot of overtime, which is okay because that means a nice coin coming to me. And I also tend to do some traveling this year. Okay.
yeah,
So, but like you, I'm getting close to. I have like about actually right now I think I have like 197 subs. Of
yeah,
course, I would like to get to the point when I be monetized as well. But
yeah.
until then, I'm just going to continue producing content. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
One
So
th- one thing I could actually say is this year the two content creators I met, Fighter and you. I met you more than Fighter though, and I could actually say that every time we're graced in the presence of each other is actually enlightening. And I was just talking to my cousin the other day. You know, he's doing his thing, so I might hit him up later. So
yeah, well, yeah, well, look, the fact, like I said before, I receive a lot of love and support by multiple sources, and I'm humble and I am amazed the amount of love that I have received. It does mean that there are people who actually want to listen to quality content other than listen to the noise. Also, going in this year, you know, I'm not gonna pay. Okay, look, I'm not gonna let people dictate to me who to hang with and who not to hang with because I have gone through that last year, and I know people are sick and tired of me saying it, but I'm gonna say it again. If you're cool with me, I'm cool with you. It is that simple. Also, I don't turn on my friends.
same here. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I mean, I just went up and I just decided to do this because in hindsight, there's a whole bunch of ignorance right there, and what really prompted me was when the selfish YouTuber decided to disregard the memory of the late Johnny Ventura. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna put right there because at the end of the day, a person should not disrespect a legacy of an honorable man. So I deem him honorable because he actually did what he had to do. He had talent, but also I didn't know him personally, but I seen him when I was a kid in a concert. But personally, from people that I've known or interacted with him in the past, they say that he was a good man. So for a guy to actually try to and a whole bunch of people trying to spew out lies about a certain entertainer, it's just to the point that these guys are just um it's not malinformed. It's just that lies are clouding people's judgments in this time and age to the point that if I went up and I said what I am, right? I said I am a Dominican West Indian. So a person would just go and try to um drive the point of what my mother was. But then when I say what my father was, everybody wants to have an opinion. Like people didn't mix, all that other stuff. So with that said, I mean, upon my entrance to YouTube, I I really live a normal life, albeit from the life that I used to live years ago. And at the end of the day, people could say what they want, but if a person ain't gonna go and try to say that they're gonna harm my family or anything like that, what you're gonna say about me is useless because let's keep it real, Don Jose. None of my detractors have any type of political power, either in the Dominican Republic nor here in the United States. They're just big mouths that has no power. Nobody they want to just feel important in the internet. And then after that, who? They cannot even socialize with people in real life. I can't do that.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, hey,
Let's
Ramon.
let's move.
Happy New Year, by the
Good
way.
evening, Ramon. Happy New Year.
Good evening, Don Jose. Good evening, Armando. Happy New Year to you too, guys.
Thank you.
How's everything? How's everything
Thank you.
going?
Everything's good.
Oh,
All right.
I have been very busy doing a lot of overtime.
Okay, yeah. You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because you're always streaming. I thought that I was gonna have a chance to do a stream tonight, but you beat me to the punch again. So it makes me like, yeah.
Yeah.
Here
I'm
goes
yeah,
the,
yeah, I'm yeah,
to
I'm
the
at I'm at a point, Ramon, I'm just trying to find a new audience, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because it's just to the point that there's too many ignorance going around the YouTube streets. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, and I'm at the point that I'm not gonna take part of it. I'm just gonna focus on my own stream. Whoever likes it. Whoever don't, I don't care.
No, it's for the best. It's for the best because there are always gonna be people that don't like you. So you just have to let them be not liking you. I mean,
Uh,
there is
uh,
nothing you can do. We're adults here. You can't change. You can't mold or change adult people. If they choose not to like you, then that's for them. That's for them to do. They don't want to like, you, especially if you know that you haven't done anything to them. So
to me,
that,
to me, to
mhm.
me, it's like at the end of the day, like I have done something to them, and I'm going to tell you why. I am my very existence and others like me, right, are a threat to the fallacy that they're trying to push on people. So when you push one fallacy and you're trying to, and you say that you're trying to educate people on what you're saying, but then when I say what I am, my
Mhm.
background and everything, it goes all away from your narratives. That's where the high school name calling, fake this, fake that. I dealt with that in high school. I'm not going to deal with it as an almost 40-year-old man. So
Yeah. When somebody reaches a certain age, we don't want to be dealing with the bullshit. I mean, it's one thing when you're still relatively young, you're a young adult, and you can still do the roasting thing. But I mean, come on, it's been a while. It's been a while since we were in high school, and we have to be more quick-witted with it. And when it comes to roasting, I could do that. I used to be able to do that, but these days, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? I'm more about peace and quiet now. These days, are
it, it,
you are
it's not
you
it's not with me peace and quiet. Is I'm just trying to see how I could be a bit how I can or how I could develop to become a better businessman because
Mhm.
it's to the point that a lot of people could talk a lot of business, but by the time I have my business set up, I'm just saying I'm just gonna put it right there. So therefore, there's no fallacies. There's nothing. If you're gonna do business with me, sign a contract. That's it. That way, that way you, that way there will not be no social media disappointment. People begging for money, which I never did money moves with them, etc. If anything, before anybody gets screwed and stuff, I'm just saying for any business, whether it be recording or opening up or doing business with another entity, before you go around and make that business deal final or that partnership or that collaboration final, one thing I'm trying to stress to the young people and to other people who are trying to make their business, put everything in contract. So that way, when if anything were to get sour or get misconstrued, is right there in the contract. Your lawyers agree to it, my lawyers agree to it. If y'all break the contract, oh well. But we made a contract, which is legally binding.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. Keep a
Um,
lawyer on retainer if they're gonna be doing any type of business, something that involves significant amounts of money, then there is always the need to have a lawyer on retainer. That's a necessity.
Yeah.
Would you guys believe that within the last 2 weeks, I actually done 64 hours of overtime?
Hey, that check is gonna come in real good. That the check or or account
Or a
deposit.
bonus.
Yes. That was your Christmas right there. You have to put in some more work, but that's your Christmas gift right there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know if it was earlier, so because I have a friend who is a social worker, so I
Mhm.
do not know about that stuff. Maybe you did, so therefore that's why I asked you the question earlier.
Yeah,
Don't okay.
I understand that. You see the problem is it varies with hospitals, so
All
it's
right.
kind of hard to get. So it's kind of hard to say they make so much. Uh, but most social workers, and I mean real social workers, not caseworkers, they all have to have MSWs, and the salaries will vary. I can tell you what a social worker will make if you're working for the city of New York, but that's something different. Say a private hospital like Mount Sinai or Lenox Hill or Montefiore. So I mean, it varies. But
All right.
if you're talking about a real social worker, you're gonna need an MSW.
All right.
So
What is that MSW, by the way, is for people that don't
master in
know?
social work.
All right.
That's yeah. So Ramon, how was your okay? How was your I know it was not easy to for things that we all know about.
Mhm. You're talking about my holidays.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, last week, I was actually in Orlando. I was with my sister, so it was all right. It was good. I mean, we had a chance to meet uh, some of my brother-in-law's family and
All right.
my sister's friends and all. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. This was one of the better holidays that I've had in some time. I
I could,
mean,
I could actually say when I was in Orlando, I could say I actually had a good time.
yes, yes, yeah. But I have been to Orlando before because before my sister was living there. Um, I will go there to see other friends, and there was a bit of a significant other that was living out there, so I will go see her too.
All right. One thing I gotta ask: did they make that train line yet?
Train line?
Yeah, because there was supposed to be a train line that somebody was supposed to develop that was supposed to go towards to Orlando to Miami, and they said it was supposed to be finished like around this time or this year or something like that.
I haven't heard about that. I haven't heard about that. I mean, it should. There should be
Yeah, cause
train
me and the wife we was thinking that it was supposed to happen when we went to Orlando, and they
line.
didn't even make it. Yeah, I was like, F, cause
Uh,
and then
uh,
by the time we was up in Orlando, this was like around late 2021. Um,
mhm.
it was like that's when the C-19 cases started rising, etc. Because I happened to talk to a cousin that lives in Florida, so there was like, don't be traveling and all that stuff. So I thank you. So
No, it's still either by plane or by car. I mean, train lines. I don't know anything about that in the Orlando area.
yeah,
So. Yeah. It's still very much by vehicle. The people are still moving around, moving around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was like, because me and my wife we went to SeaWorld that day around that time. So and the pool and the hotel that we stayed in, it was actually great. I could actually say that it was a nice steak. It was a nice steakhouse right there.
All
I
right.
think it was called Joe's or something like that. Well, what we stayed at was Kissimmee, but then Kissimmee, Orlando is like kind of like the same thing because I have
Yes.
a friend up in Sanford too. So and then I had to meet a friend that I had in that I made while in one of my former jobs because she was pregnant at the time. Me and her, we actually ate out at the Cheesesteak Factory. So all in all, it was good.
Mhm.
I see. I see. Okay,
Well,
that's good.
well, in my case, I went to a party New Year's Eve, so I had a great time, and on New Year's Day, I went to a banquet.
Wow,
That's good.
that's
That's
good.
good.
I mean, me and my wife we went to a concert on New Year's Eve. It was an R&B concert,
Oh,
Hmm.
nice. Nice.
so it was just I could say that these guys there was it was they actually had talent. So it wasn't like, okay, somebody say, hey, these guys don't have talent, and then you pay your money and wait and waste it. These guys they actually did what they had to do. So it was good money being paid for talent. So if you ever well, Don Jose, I know that they have this. It's like branch, I guess, with cities and such. It's called City Winery. And I know that they have one in New York, DC, and whatsoever. So they have it like in several cities. If you go to like a city winery up in New York, like say if you want to listen to a show or something like that, feel
Hmm.
welcome to up in New York City, Don Jose.
Okay, fine. I would check it out. Now, the fact of, the fact of the matter is the reason why I've been doing the overtime is due to the fact with the situation regarding the asylum seekers. So I've been doing a lot of overtime, and looks like I'm going to continue to do all that overtime throughout the year. In fact, I'm scheduled to do another 40 hours of overtime next week and
Mm,
possibly every week going forward.
mm.
Mm,
Okay. Hey, take it as your kind of like your Christmas bonus.
yeah,
You're having to work for it, but you're getting some extras. That's good.
right.
Yes, and I'm definitely going to be doing some traveling this year.
Yay.
Well,
So,
you should have been doing traveling before now. I
okay,
mean, come
well
on.
now, now all this overtime I'm going to be making, I don't have an excuse.
You didn't have an excuse before the overtime. What are you talking about? You were postponing it because you're trying to stay in the cold instead of going to the
For the
going to
hot tropics.
instead of
Okay,
going to a more natural habitat like the tropics, like in the DR. I mean, and seeing your lady and being in a better environment in better company. But no,
Oh,
you want to be
yo,
sticking by
Ramon,
yourself.
now I don't know if you've been privy, but there's been how shall I say rumblings within the social media, or whatever. Not social
Uh-huh.
media. I mean in the YouTube streets because of a certain individual who I'm not going to say. But what is your thoughts on the late on the? I think it happened like a few days ago, but it
Mhm.
looks like it's been a back and forth between, I guess, a person and other people. So me and Jose, we were talking about it, and he was saying that certain individuals may need help. What's your thought about that?
Okay, what's the subject that is being argued about? If you don't want to say names.
It was the subject was is that I guess there was there is a YouTuber that we all know, and we're not saying names. But the thing is, though, I guess there's a beef or whatever, and I've been seeing it to the point that people have been posting pictures, dissing each other or what have you. So, and I guess you might have heard of it or it might not. What are your thoughts on this current beef?
Honestly, Armando, I'm gonna need a little more information because a lot of people are beefing at the same time. So
yeah, well, let's just say that this. Let's just say that the person that we're talking about, people they say or say not, but they say that they have problems with this person. That's all I'm gonna say.
okay, I see.
I think I have a clue regarding what you're talking about, who you're talking about. But let's
Yeah.
welcome the Al Show. Good evening.
Hey, Al Show.
Hey, good evening. Good evening to you, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Well, I'm
okay.
I'm all right, but I just heard that I got like a recent death in the family. It was a first cousin of mine, so
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Oh man, condolences.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, same here. Well, I'm doing fine. The only disappointment that I've been experiencing is the lack of winter here in New York.
Oh, it's gonna go back soon.
Oh, be glad about that.
I don't know how can you say that there is a lack of winter of where you are close to Buffalo, that they have been having all of these storms that are.
We're not that close to Buffalo.
Oh.
No, we're not.
No, because it's like Buffalo is like maybe 6 or 7 hours, I believe, from New York, from New York City, I believe, because I have friends that
that's Western New York.
Yeah, I have friends that actually take a plane to Buffalo to New York City, and it costs like what the person was telling me. It would cost like $70 or something like that. I guess they didn't want to make the 6-hour drive or whatever. So.
Yeah. Okay, I see. No. I had the impression that since it is in the same state, that it will be fairly close, and the New York City will be getting some of that.
Let's put it like this. New York is like, okay, I'm not going to say it's the biggest size of Texas, but let's say, like, for example, where you at, right? Ramon, and let's say you're going to go to Brownsville or, one of the borders. So, like, from where you at to the borders town, how long, give or take, would that take you? Since, Texas is huge.
Yeah, just to get to Shreveport, which is Louisiana, which is the first time that you encounter heading eastbound from North Dallas. That's like 3-4 hours just to get to Shreveport, and that's relatively close. I mean, it could be kind of like if you're in Dallas and you want to go just to Houston, that's like 5 hours. Just to go to from one
how about from Dallas to El Paso?
All the way to El Paso is going to be more than that. It's going to be about the same as what you said, kind of like the same distance from New York City to Buffalo, and from that estimation that you were giving me. I've never done that drive, but I am in the northern part of Texas. So if I were to go all the way down to El Paso, it's gonna be a few hours, because El Paso, that's the border. So right. Yeah. But I have gone as far down as San Antonio, and it does take a while. It does take a few hours. Yeah.
Well, I do know Buffalo is Western New York, so that's upstate. So I assume you guys, meaning Jose and is it Grandmaster? I hope I'm getting that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume you guys are in the Apple, right? You're in New York City.
No, I'm actually in the Philadelphia. I actually live in the Philadelphia area,
Oh, you're in
but it look,
Philly. Okay. Okay.
but
So,
it's funny because we haven't really gotten snow like that. But I guess in Upper Pennsylvania, which is like, I guess the same distance if I was up in New York to if I was to go in upstate, because I do not know upstate like that. And
mhm.
the only time I've been to like any place other than Philadelphia is like when I go to my wife's uncle house, which is like 2 hours, and then the
Uh-huh.
Poconos, which is like
I
another
see.
2 hours.
Right.
So with that said, I haven't been to Pittsburgh, even though I want to, but
Okay.
like all the other towns, miscellaneous towns and everything like that don't really have public transportation like that. So
I see.
if I was to go like say to visit my friend up in Erie, it would have to
Hmm.
actually take me like a 4 or 5 hour drive, even though I don't drive. But I'm just saying because I look at Google Maps, it would take like a 4 or 5 hour because Pennsylvania is also a big, wide state too.
Yeah, I would say just stay out of Pennsylvania. That's what I was. That's what I've heard about Pennsylvania.
Um, I,
So,
yeah, I'm like, I just don't. I'm just like, I just don't want to live in an area where I'm the only black Latino, and then the by,
well,
and
in
then
Philly, you'll find that. Yeah, in Philly,
I'm.
yeah, you'll find that.
I mean, in Philly, it's okay. The cops, they don't do nothing, and
Oh, really? Okay.
you know that there's wanton violence around there for I guess the past 6 years since I've been living here. I just don't really be in the mix as far as okay, let's do this, let's do that. I'm like, no, I just work, go home, and be with my wife. And if I want to hang out with people, I just go to New York.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, it's interesting because the police in Philly years ago, especially under Rizzo's administration, had a
Right.
reputation for being absolutely brutal on suspects.
I mean, I guess so, but then again, I don't. But then it's like talking about a cop. There was a cop that actually was how should I say violating men's rights,
Hmm.
if you know what I mean. So while he was violating,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think I have an idea what you mean.
yes. So there was a cop who was violating men's rights, and he always used to put suspects or people that he arrested and in handcuffs, and then he violated them, and then he was trying to groom men that came out of jail, so therefore they could be his his Hershey partners.
Oh, you mean on
Yeah,
the Great Highway? Are you talking about the Great Highway? You mean that
nah, just
highway?
yeah, Hershey Squirt, the Hershey Highway. He was on that time, so he just that cop who was actually violating men's rights and wanting some Hershey Highway love. He actually got like 23 years in prison.
Yeah, I got to use that euphemism at some point. Violating, violating men's rights or violating rights, I would call it. That's a
Yeah,
good one for YouTube. I'll just say violating rights, like violating whatever gender's rights. But
right.
yeah, yeah, the what I was told from people I talked to in Pennsylvania, I was told about Pennsylvania. I know about Philly, but Pennsylvania is the place.
Yeah, like
Yeah, there.
I guess you would consider that the Poconos because it was like around 2018.
Um,
Me, and my wife and her mom, we were
uh,
just riding around. We saw like a whole bunch of the Dixie flags. We're like, yeah, I'm getting out of here.
oh yeah. Well, I've heard it said about Pennsylvania, some parts of it are very, how do I put this? Southern.
Yeah,
To use another Inframusa, Southern, right? You talked about violating rights. I'll just say Southern.
right.
Very Southern.
Yeah,
That's what I've heard. Like I said, Pennsylvania is a very hardcore racist state. At least parts of it
yeah,
are.
yeah.
You don't
I
want to
actually
wind up
thought,
in the wrong sections of Pennsylvania. Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, that's why I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna go to Upper Pennsylvania, yeah, I'm just about to take Amtrak. So
Oh, that sounds. Oh, okay.
yeah, I mean, Amtrak to me is safe. I mean, you go there, you see the towns that you may not don't want to be stuck in. I seen
Yeah.
while I had a ride through Pennsylvania to Orlando. I saw towns that was bustling. I saw towns that had lost business. I seen towns that just towns that was just the woods and everything like that. And then when you're sleeping and everything, it actually feels good when you're sleeping in the train,
Mm.
and it's actually relaxing, to tell you the
I
truth.
haven't been on a train in over 20 years, I think 20, 30 years maybe. And it was nice. It was a nice ride. It was from Florida to New York.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I liked that. Got to see a good amount of the country, including parts of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
And
I mean to see Washington D.C.
yeah, so I
It
mean,
was actually good,
mhm.
but I don't know. I would like to well, if I get more dinero, I would like to take a cross country trip on Amtrak.
Hmm,
Maybe
sounds
I
good.
want to feel maybe I want to feel the cowboy experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to
Um,
go. If I get out of here, I'd like to get on a train. I'd like to kind of travel by train if possible. But
Oh,
I was
so
okay. So you're good. Sorry.
all right. So
okay.
where you currently located right now? You don't have to say the city.
Um.
Just say the
Well.
state.
Let's just say I'm in Hawaii.
All right.
I'm in the islands.
Well, hey, that's good enough because Amtrak doesn't go there.
Yeah. It doesn't go. Neither does Greyhound. And
Okay.
I had to live when I lived on the mainland. I was on both. Yeah.
Uh,
So Jose, are you in the city?
Yes, I am. So basically, tonight is open discussion. So we had spoken about many things. Now, I just share with everybody that I've done within the last 2 weeks 64 hours of overtime.
Wow. Do you always
Yeah.
add up your overtime like that? I'm just curious.
No, it's just it has to do with the situation regarding the asylum seekers.
The silent
Um,
seekers, yeah.
yeah, Ramon. Let's get you into the conversation.
all right. Al, I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
Um. Oh, all right. It is about Hawaii. It's funny that that the two places that you will never hear about, I guess, immigration problem or anything like that,
Uh-huh.
will be Hawaii and Alaska. So
Well, you do have people deported from here because federal government and everything, but so ICE does deport people from here, from Hawaii, but the numbers are very low because most people don't come here. Hawaii is one of the most expensive states in the country.
right,
That's one of the reasons I want to get out of here. I didn't want to retire here, but I've been retired here for 5 years, and
yeah, because yeah, talking about Hawaii, a YouTube rapper by the name of China Mac, he actually came out here and he
mhm.
actually was talking about Hawaii and everything. He actually was talking to the people that live in the quote unquote hood in Hawaii and everything. And I had a friend, internet friend that she lives in well, I forgot what it's called. It's like it was something with the W, but
I think
but
I
there
know what you're referring
but
to. I'll
but
just
then but
yeah, I think I
but
know
then
where you're talking about.
but then there was a weird thing which is called Conker's Hail or something like that.
What was that?
So Conker's Hail is like
I don't know what that means.
KONK, I think is AHSO, and it's called Hail HALE. I don't know what it is, but I was actually talking to a friend, like through the internet, that lived in that area once upon a time.
Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a very expensive state. It's probably
Yeah,
the most expensive state in the country. So most
I could
people,
imagine.
they're not going to come to Hawaii because, first of all, there's a big homeless population here.
Well, you don't say.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's been
all
that
right,
way
good.
for a number of years now.
I mean, I
It's gotten talked about in the past. I don't know how
sorry
many
that
years, past 2 years. You've seen some stuff on YouTube. I would, if you want, you could go check it out. I recommend you check it out. There's some segments on it. Like I said, this place is extremely expensive, and I never thought I would be retiring here. I didn't think I'd come back. I came back because I had a job offer on another island because I'm originally from here, and I had a job offer on another. I was in Seattle at the time because I lived in Seattle prior, and I was in LA, and then I moved up to Seattle, and then I was supposed to do this temporary gig, this temporary job for a
right.
newspaper on another island, and I did. That's why I came back, and I wound up getting stuck here. Wound up getting stuck here.
Oh, wait a minute.
Unfortunately.
The town, I can't pronounce it. I think it's called Waianae or something like that.
I know what
Wait,
you're
maybe.
talking about. I know precisely what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it has a certain kind of reputation. It has a reputation. But it's a nice part of the island. I haven't been out there in years. But nice. It's a nice area of the island, of this island.
right.
But yeah, you also have a number of homeless out there, or at least I don't know, you probably still do. But yeah, this place is like, oh my, it's astronomical, and I didn't think I'd retire here, but I have thus far. I just want to get out of here. I just
Yeah.
can't stand
Have
it.
you, Al, have you ever thought about moving to New York, say possibly Rochester?
Rochester, you mean? Oh, you mean upstate?
No, I'm talking about
You mean
Rochester.
like where,
No, no.
where?
No,
Go
I'm
ahead, sorry.
talking about there's an area in the Bronx known as Parkchester. That's where I live.
Oh, of the Bronx. I thought about New York a long time ago. I thought about New York City a long time ago. And I wound up moving to Seattle when I was in my 20s and LA. So I never got the chance to go to New York, like live in New York. But I thought about it, but because I used to be a freelance writer, and I just found out from one of the organizations I'm attached to that the governor just vetoed the statewide freelances and free bill. So I'm kind of miffed about that. Even though I'm not a freelance writer, I'm a retired freelance writer, even though I don't freelance anymore.
Mhm.
I was miffed because I was thinking when I got out of here, I was like, yeah, maybe I'd try New York because I freelanced in LA and I freelanced in Seattle and I freelanced here in the islands, but I never freelanced in the NYC. So I thought about it. I know the city has the Freelancers and Free Act, but they passed the statewide in the assembly in Albany, and I just heard the governor just vetoed it, or had vetoed it. So I'm not happy about that.
I can just,
And yeah, I'm not happy about that. Even though I'm not a
yeah.
New York resident, I am a freelance. I was a freelancer though, and I actually was going to move to New York, to California a couple of years ago. Move back, really. What
Okay.
happened was that California passed AB 5, and AB 5 impacted a number of businesses, a number of industries, and it even included freelancers, freelancers like I used to be. And I was going to come back to California, come out of retirement, and freelance again, make some money so I could put some money away and retire again. And I couldn't do that because of that law, because people were losing their livelihoods before the law went into effect, because it was limiting the amount of content that freelance professionals could do for one outlet. It was like 25 at one point, and then it was 35. So, yeah, it's, I mean, you know, and New York was great because they passed the Freelancers and Free Act in New York City. The council did, I think. And they were doing it in Albany, upstate. I know they had some they're trying to put some legislation against it in New York at one point. And they passed it, but the governor just vetoed it. I don't know how long ago. So, yeah, I'm kind of miffed at that.
Well, you know, the only negative thing about New York is that here in New York we have virtually non-existent winters. Okay, I mean, we haven't had a nice cold winter in years.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes.
You know, I was thinking of New York. You know, I was thinking of coming to New York because I haven't written there, and because of the Freelancers and Free Act, I considered possibly coming out of retirement and trying to freelance in New York.
Okay.
You know,
also, have you ever been to Canada?
No, I haven't. Why do you ask?
Oh no, because I heard that in certain things as far as writing and all that stuff. I don't know how it is different because I know it's a different country, but I know that there's a lot of opportunities in Canada also.
You know, it's funny. When I was younger, I wanted to go to Paris. Right, I wanted to kind of lead the expatriate life like a lot of American writers did after World War II. To Paris. So Paris, I thought about. I never considered. I think I did consider Canada at one point. I thought about it a little, but not really. Not too much. But yeah, you know, I did because I just was checking my email and I found out that Freelancers and Free Act got the statewide act got you know, vetoed by the governor, and I'm not happy with that. So I don't know. I hope something can be done. I wouldn't mind helping out my colleagues or you know, I'm not a freelance writer anymore. I wouldn't mind helping out my colleagues there, but I'm not a New York resident or a New York writer. So,
Ramon, you've been very silent. Do you wish to say anything?
No, I'm just listening. It's just that you're touching on subjects that I don't know so much about, so I was just listening. Yeah, Al, you were mentioning kind of like the cost of living out there in Hawaii. I mean, I have heard a lot about the gentrification, so that you know better than me that could very well be a big factor in that. The local people can't afford to live in their own island because these outsiders are coming in and buying all the prime property.
That's always been the case. Yeah, that's always been the case. You know, I have left-wing I'm left-wing, and I have activist friends that would feed the homeless. And so a friend of mine was telling me that some of these apartments were being bought out, these condos and stuff. These corporations were buying them. These condo units, even some of these apartments, they're buying them for their employees. So they go and they buy up these units and have the employees, you know, bring people over from other places and they'd be there. So yeah, it's. I didn't think that I would be here as long as I was, or as long as I have been. And like I've been back here. What? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna come back here. I've been here about 12, 13 years or so.
Mm.
And I didn't think that I was supposed to come here, do my temporary job. Well, I shouldn't say it that way, but my kind of almost like a contract gig. I was supposed to come here, do that, and then go back to the mainland. I was going to go back to California. And that didn't pan out. So I've been here for quite a while. Like I said, probably 12, 13 years or so. I think 13. So yeah, it's just financially, this isn't the place that I wanted to live. It's a lovely place. It's weather I can't argue with. It's always been great, but the economy here has sucked for a long time. I've never liked the economy. I never wanted to live here anyway. Once I grew up and I said, I want to get out of here. And I did, and then I came back, and then I left again, and then I got stuck here. So yeah. But I guess it's a little better than getting stuck in Cleveland, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can only imagine dealing with the weather there. At least you are in tropical weather, and yeah, there might be some rain, but aside from that, it should be good.
Yeah, the thing you worry about are hurricane storms. You have rain unless it like really downpours, like bad downpours, and I've seen that. But I lived in Seattle, so you haven't seen rain till you've been to a place like Seattle.
Oh yeah. It can rain constantly for days at a time. I mean, the closest thing that I've seen of that is it was actually Thanksgiving week, because that week was raining the whole week. I was supposed to travel and I couldn't because the weather was so bad that whole week. Before that, it hadn't been raining in months here in Texas. In North Dallas area, it hadn't been raining in months, but Thanksgiving week came around and it rained the whole week. It stopped raining on the Sunday that I was supposed to come back. I mean, but I couldn't travel because the weather was so bad. Couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, you're in. Are you in Dallas?
Yeah, North Dallas.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I know you're in Dallas, Texas. So you guys get a variation in weather, snow, and obviously sunshine, but snow as well.
Well, during last week, not last week, but the ending of the week before, the Friday, when I had to go to the airport, it was 10 degrees. That's not common for it being so cold on December. You get temperature like that, but that's in like at the end of January, February. In February, hopefully it's not too bad because there might be some snowing in February. That's when it usually happens. I mean, at the end of January, middle of February or so. But after that, it might be just for like a couple of days, and after that, it should start to pick up the temperatures. Aside from that, it doesn't get like snowing for days at a time. Not like Jose likes. No, we don't have that here, thankfully.
First of all, 10 degrees. Okay, first of all, 10 degrees is not bad. It's what I would consider light winter.
No, it's very bad. It's very bad. I stand outside in 10-degree weather. It takes me about 30 seconds for my hands to start hurting because it's so cold. It's too cold for me. I mean, us tropical people, that's how we feel. I know that you are a polar bear, and and that doesn't affect you. But no, when one is
Well,
from the
the worst was when I was living in Seattle,
Mhm.
and we only had to deal with what 2 or 3 inches, I think, maybe 4 at best. And so the thing I worried about was slipping because I don't think I had the right shoes. So I was
Yeah.
worried about slipping. Like that was what scared me. And it's really the chill. So if you're somebody who comes from a sunnier environment and you go to winter, my recommendation is what you have to deal with is that wind, the chill from the wind. It's like a slap.
Yeah. The wind chill. That's something that I was dealing with for the for the Thursday and the Friday before Christmas. There were a couple of days that it was like that here. I mean, if there wasn't any wind, it was actually not bad. The temperature, it wasn't so bad. But when the wind is blowing, that's when it gives you that wind chill. That when it goes back to 15 and 10 degrees, I mean, it's horrible, man. And I will never get used to it.
Right. It's.
Well,
I
you
think
see,
you have to get.
I'm
Oh, sorry.
I love the cold weather. For me, the
We
colder
know.
the better.
We
I
know.
mean, it's
We
just
know.
it's been
Oh, really?
unfortunate that we have. Yeah, I mean, if I see, I had a fantasy that I would control the weather worldwide.
No, thanks. Let us enjoy. Let us that like the tropical weather enjoy it when it's nice and warm.
I
Because you
guess
think,
I know. I guess Jose's favorite song is "Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow."
no, hell no. No, the thing is that I'm
Oh,
from a
you don't like it, do you? You don't like that at all.
no, because
Yeah.
you know what it is, Al? Because I am from a weather just like
Right.
very similar to Hawaii. I'm from Puerto Rico,
Right.
where
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Yeah, that's
weather
right.
is very much alike. There is even something in common between Puerto Rico and Hawaii is that they have the coquis out there, which they can't live anywhere else. I know that there is in one of the islands, in one of the Hawaiian islands, they have the coquis, which are the tiny little frogs that make noise at
Oh,
night.
cookie. That's right. Yeah, I've heard of them, and I don't know much about them, but I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're originally from Puerto Rico. There was a time
Okay.
where some Puerto Ricans migrated from Puerto Rico to Hawaii. That was
That's right.
after the
Right.
colonization.
The recent population.
It was sometime after 1898 that there was a migration of Puerto Ricans to Hawaii, but nobody knows exactly how the coquis got all the way to Hawaii. But maybe somebody had some plants where there were eggs in them. Something like that must have happened. That's how there were some cookies that made their way all the way to Hawaii. Yeah. But they're originally from Puerto Rico. Yeah.
See,
Apparently,
my fantasy is that I would be granted control of the weather worldwide, and I would dictate how the weather would be. Like, for example, I would allow one day out of the year that the temperature would go up to 85 degrees, and I would be a benevolent dictator and not allow the cold to get below 20 below.
No. Jose, your dream is my nightmare. It's our nightmare for us regular people that like warm weather, warm, life-giving weather with life-giving sunlight. You are against that. The hell.
I mean, you can go to the beach in the winter.
No. But the thing about going to the beach is when the sun is out and it's nice and warm, and you take in what is it, vitamin B from the sun. That's life-giving. It's life-giving sunlight.
You can do that in the wintertime too.
No, you can't, because all that cold, it blocks out the sun. It's depressing. It's cause for depression. No, you need sunlight, warm sunlight. Yeah. I'm never gonna be into that
explain
cold.
to me-
Yeah.
Then explain to me how come it's always chilly in the hospitals?
How is it? What?
Chilly.
No, that's in the operation room because of circumstance. It is necessary, but aside from that, the being in tropical weather where there is warm and sunlight is more ideal for the human body. I mean,
Could you imagine? I mean, could you imagine if I could make it? If I could bring
No.
temperatures down to 20 degrees in Puerto Rico?
no, I don't want to imagine. Just trying to imagine that it gives me brain freeze. Trying to imagine that. So no, I don't want to imagine. No. Hell no.
Oh, talking. Yo, Don Jose,
Yes,
did the polar bears did they thing this year?
I think they did.
Yeah, my mom always said, like, yo, these guys are Russian. When she was alive, she was like, and I used to ask my mom, like, are these people crazy or what? They used to go in their shorts and everything like that. January 1st, just to dip into cold water.
Yeah, well,
That's lovely.
well, you go join them then. No, but that's kind of like North American, European stuff. I mean, as somebody from tropical weather, I couldn't do that. I mean, I'll get instant hypothermia. I will need to be warm in a hospital or something. Yeah.
Ramon, remember the question I asked you last year? If you had the choice to date someone who's trans or go skidding or go to Coney Island on New Year's Day and swim in the water, which choice would you select?
Okay, but that's no. There is no answer to that because I couldn't do either or. Couldn't do it. No. I guess I'm gonna have to remain celibate or something, but I need my warm weather. That's the way it's gonna have to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. You know.
Yeah.
Look. Changing the subject. Going back. Have you heard about that football player from the Bills that had a cardiac arrest and it's in medically induced coma?
I haven't heard anything late. Yeah, I keep hearing people still saying prayers up to him. But as far as anything else, I haven't heard anything as of yet.
Well, I just want to encourage everyone to please continue to keep Damar Hamlin in your thoughts and prayers, and not just him, but his family, his teammates, because that's a scary moment that a person, 24 years old, that supposedly is like physically fit, and then to have cardiac arrest and on national TV. That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it was like he took a helmet to the chest, and that apparently affected his heart rhythm, and that caused him to go unconscious. Because I remember seeing the footage where he kind of like crashed, doing a defensive maneuver, took a helmet to the chest, and he fell down. And then you see him; he starts to get up, and then he collapses. Yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Don Jose, I'm about to leave, so it was nice talking to you.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by. Please be safe.
You too.
All right, take care, Armando.
Okay.
You too.
Ramon, if you want, tomorrow night I'm not doing the stream, so if you want to do one, you can do one tomorrow night.
I guess I'm gonna have to try because I was thinking about doing one tonight, but you beat me to the punch again. I mean, like it made me thinking: Are you really doing overtime because you got time to do all of these live streams? So I'll see. I'll try and see if I can do something tomorrow. But it being Friday, I know that there are gonna be other people doing live streams also. But still, I'm gonna see if I can do my own open topics and I can get others to join in. But actually, now that you're saying that, because I have to take care of something, I'm gonna be stepping out also. And I wanted to thank you for letting me be on your panel and letting me chop it up with you a little bit. And shout out to you, shout out to Al. Nice talking to you again also. So
Yes, nice to talk to you.
yeah. Take care out there in Hawaii. So Don Jose, Al, I'll see you guys on the next one. Jose, thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. Have a good night.
All right,
Good night.
see you.
So, actually, one topic I plan to discuss on Sunday is called YouTube etiquette. Al?
Yeah, you got cut off there. I guess you had a sound issue.
Yeah.
So
I'm
you're
saying
saying on Sunday you got to do a live on what precisely?
YouTube etiquette.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, I think that's a really good one. Because you said the one about the incels did pretty well here, and the fake friends seem to do okay too. You know, I remember coming up on that one. That did okay. Pretty good discussion.
Yeah.
That sounds good though. I like that. I like that YouTube etiquette.
Yeah, because you know what? Some people think that there are no guidelines regarding how to conduct yourself in YouTube. Well, they are. It's just that it's up to the individual YouTube creators to enforce whatever rules that they have regarding their platforms.
That's part of it, but from what I see, YouTube isn't really gonna step in unless it absolutely has to. So,
yeah,
that's a problem. I could say as somebody who's had I've dealt with trolls, and it's gotten better now. I don't really deal with trolls that much anymore, but I revamped my channel. But I don't really deal with trolls as much. But I did in the past. And so there really isn't much you can do with trolls. Like I don't believe there really isn't much that I think, man, I don't know what you could do to deal with trolls besides, timing them out and blocking them and deleting them. Because there's no repercussions to trolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, I see. All I can do is but I don't know what's going on because I do set I do set the mode, the subscriber mode. I enable it, and then for some reason it gets disabled. So it's like I constantly have to enable it. So I'm trying to do my best, and then if I do see anyone that's trolling, they do get blocked. Sometimes they do get through though.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of mode, but yeah, It certainly was an issue that I dealt with most of last year, were trolls coming in my channel. And yeah, unfortunately, trolls are something. There's not much you can do about it. There really isn't much that can be done about trolling. It's unfortunate, but I myself, came out and I said I think YouTube and Google need to enact stringent or stricter regulations against trolling on YouTube. I think that needs to happen because, for what I see, trolling is a major issue.
Yeah. One thing I do need to learn to navigate better on Discord.
Yeah, I'm not on Discord, so.
Okay. Well, I happen to be on Discord. Actually, I have my own I have my own channel Discord. I'm also on a couple others. Actually, would you believe it? I was removed from another Discord simply because I was defending another YouTube creator.
I can believe it. I mean, I think people will react in a number of ways, so I can believe it. Yeah, I mean, that seems like something that would happen. People kick people out of channels and panels and Discords over, I'm sure, the slightest of reasons or tiniest reasons.
Yeah. But basically, I just have two goals for this year. Number one, try to avoid unnecessary stress. And number two, just be the best version of myself.
Interesting.
Yeah, because goals. Because I don't believe in resolutions. I believe in goals.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Because realistically, okay. Usually most people, but no, they complete their resolutions by the first week. By the second week, they start to lose interest, and before the end of the month, they completely forgot what was their resolutions. So I don't even bother try.
Resolutions really don't mean much.
Yeah, it was basically wishful thinking. Like, I wish to do this, I wish to do that. But in any case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to wrap this up because, believe it or not, I'm going to be doing another night of overtime.
Oh, geez, you got to go back and do overtime. All right. Thanks for having me up.
Well, thank you very much for stopping by, and please be safe.
All right, you too.
Okay. It was an interesting evening. We did manage to discuss many things, and that's the whole purpose of open discussion. Is discuss whatever we wish to discuss and share with, as long as there's mutual understanding and mutual respect. I do appreciate everyone that appear on the chat and everyone that appears on the call. I will be live Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And of course, the topic will be YouTube etiquette. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn what it is and how to properly apply it. So therefore, whenever we on these panels and not be a part of the peanut gallery. Of course, everyone who watches the stream, after it's over, they're more than welcome to enter a comment or ask you to be respectable. So that being said, I really appreciate all those who allow me to enter into your devices to share my point of view. Okay. So that being said, I just want to wish that let's all try to be the best version of ourselves. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron, and I wish all of you a very good night, and also happy Three Kings Day to all of us that celebrate Three Kings Day. Feliz Dia de los Reyes Magos. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Wishing all of you good night.
Strong.